Hey, welcome back to the Philosophy Podcast. I am your host, Controversy, and to my right, as per usual, my co-host, none other than Mr.
Darren Love, the most richest person in the world.
AKA PC.
PC Love.
And together, we are the Philosophy Podcast. Thank you to you guys for tuning in once again this week to a brand new episode. And yeah, without further ado, what is on the agenda for this week, mate? What is today's hot topic?
Let's talk about cash, money.
Cash money. Hmm?
Yeah, money.
We like cash money.
I love money.
Everyone loves cash
I'll
money.
take this off now, you know.
Yeah.
This is always a bit funny.
Yeah. Brief intermission while PC Love addresses his attire.
I just thought that was a bit funny.
Yeah, a bit of
show off.
That's what it is, isn't it? A bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so this week, what are we talking about, mate?
Talk about money. I think
We're talking about money. Yeah? Dinero. Mucho dinero. Yeah? The pesos.
Yeah. Everyone loves it, don't they?
Everyone loves money.
Well,
I wouldn't say love money. Not everyone loves money, but the reality is that the money does make the world rotate, as they say. That, you know, like my old sayings.
yes.
An old saying early on in the program tonight in this week's episode. But yeah, as they say, the money makes the world turn and rotate, and it is true. You know.
We're born into a money world, aren't we?
Into the money world, yeah.
You know, I mean, you think about it. It could have been different.
Could have been, yeah.
It could have been.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, no, it wasn't always like this, but obviously the time period that yourself and myself have been born in, we were both born into, you know, money was in existence when we were both, you know, in our lifetime.
You think about, like,
you know?
if there was different life forms out there with different intelligence on different planets and things like that,
yeah,
they'd probably have different systems.
Oh, probably, yeah.
They would have money.
Mm.
You know what I mean, you know, there are different systems. You know?
Well, I think money was intentionally created for that purpose, though. It's a bit of you know, put the whole world in debt. It's kind of a form of slavery in a way, if you see what I mean, like modern day slavery, financial slavery, if you see what I mean. Because as we know, money doesn't work without debt. The only way that money works is with interest, if you see what I mean, with the bank. When the banks first started up, and same way it is today, you have to pay interest on the money that they give you, they loan you. So it's all about debts. The only way that money works is through debt. And we all know that debt equals to a form of financial slavery. That is the reality, you know? And the figures today of the amount of people who are in a large amount of debt today, especially like in the UK, so for example, is staggering. Like, you know, apparently they say that one third of the UK's population, apparently, has got more than £10,000 in debt. And that's, you know, one third of each, you know, of every family. If you see what I mean, you know, I've got, over 10.
I think even if you're born, alright, you're in debt. As soon as you're born in a funny way. You know? You know, and then you got to pay for your college. You know, you got to get a loan to go to college. You know, and then as soon as you do get a job, you're in debt before you even start work.
You got to pay it off. Student debt, student loans.
Absolutely ridiculous, if you ask me.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I think education should be free.
Yeah.
Simple, you know. But there you go. You know, we're living in the money world, you know, and I say, I think most people love money, you know, and like, I mean, I'm not rich right now, alright, I own up to it, I'm not rich, okay, and if I did come into a lot of money right now, you know, someone gave me like £20 million or something, it would make my day.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know,
more than your day.
And it would give me a lot of power.
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know,
financial freedom brings a lot of, you know, a lot of like, freedom.
You know, it would change my life. You know, do you know what I mean? And it is kind of dangerous in a way, you know, like
in the wrong hands.
We might have said it before, in the wrong hands, with a person who's not educated in life, I think, you know?
Yeah.
That doesn't know how to spend it, for instance, you know what I mean?
Definitely, or someone who's got a bad addiction or something.
Yeah, that's
you know,
right.
you might have a heroin addict who wins the bloody lottery, and then, you know, in 2 weeks' time he's dead.
That's it.
You know what I mean? You know, like you said, it all depends on the person and how. That's why I think financial education is so important as well too. Financial literacy is so important, and that's something that even with my kids growing up, like my son's going to be 10 in a few months' time. He'll be 10 years old already. You know, I can't believe it. But you know, even now I'm teaching him about how you know how money works and how the financial system works and what's best for him to do in order to stay out of debt. And I'm teaching him about assets and liabilities and all sorts of shit. I teach him about finances, even though he's, you know, he obviously can't comprehend all of it now at his young age. But as he slowly gets older, the more that I kind of teach him these things, the more that it will start to sink in, if you see what I mean. Because he'll start having his own money and using his own money, having his own pocket money, or he might have a little job during the summer and have his own little, you know, money from that, and he'll have to, you know, learn how to gauge it and budget and all that type of shit, you know.
See, me personally, I didn't have a father really. Do you know what I mean?
Same. I didn't have a father,
and I didn't have anyone telling me about financial nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Same.
Honestly, no one at school. Do you know what I mean? They didn't teach me.
Yeah.
You know, I just sort of leave school and start work right, and I was thinking, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Honestly, you know, do you know what I mean? I could make it. You know, I had to learn for myself basically. You know.
Yeah, same. But that's why, like, I'm so big, like, on making sure all the stuff that I no one ever taught me at a young age. Where as I got older and I realised, you know, someone should have taught me this stuff. I always made it a promise to myself when I was young, because I had my son when I was only 20 years old, so I was quite young when he was born anyway. But I remember being like 16, 17 years old, no, probably about 15, 16 when I first started working. And I remember thinking to myself, you know what, all the financial lessons that I've learned along the way, and you know, other things of course too, not just finances, but all these things, all this knowledge that I've accumulated, I need to pass it down, you know what I mean?
You do,
Because I didn't have anyone to give it to me, so now that I've got it...
Yeah, well your son's lucky, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
And my daughter, she'll have the game,
you know, too. I really, in a kind of way, I'm angry, that my teachers or my education didn't teach me at school, do you know what I mean, about what's important in life, and how they didn't teach me how wicked the world really is, you know, how wicked the business world is and all that.
What to expect.
You know, because it is a wicked world, isn't it, the business, you know, it's like a invisible war almost, isn't it? With no guns or... You know, and people do get shot down in a funny way, you know. They don't get shot, but they lose their money.
Yeah.
You know, lose their business and lose their family because of it. You know, and
all sorts
of stuff. You know what I mean?
You get people that you know, God forbid, you know, because it's a very serious thing. You know, we don't wish that upon anyone, of course. But you got people who commit suicide and stuff sometimes as well too.
Many times.
You know, you got people right now that are in so much debt that they cry every day.
Yeah.
And all sorts of shit, you know, people having mental breakdowns and all sorts of shit, you know.
There's all kinds of situations with money in the money world, you know what I mean?
But it's sad though, because like we always say, like whenever we have conversations, sometimes off camera, like we even talk about it quite a lot. It's just like this thing of, why is there people out there that have got... Don't get me wrong, like we said before, there's always going to be a divide. That's just the way money works, how the monetary system works. There's always going to be people that are going to have more, people who are going to have less. Yes, we understand that. But why is it that you've got people who've got billions of dollars that they can never spend this money in their lifetime? You know, their children's children can't spend that money in their lifetime. Why can't some of that money be allocated to people who need it? So even if it's a small portion. Why can't you take 10 billion? Why can't you got all these people who got like 100 billion, 150 billion, all this large, you know, huge amounts of wealth. It's like you trying to tell me you can't take 10 billion and just help some people out?
The thing is, we're not
like, you know,
the truth of it, right? We're not really here that long.
I know, but that's what I mean. So why should people have to suffer the way that they suffer, to the point especially in this day and age, where life is becoming harder and harder. The electric's going up, food's going up, water's in, you know, in certain places you've got water shortages and stuff, and water's becoming high in demand, so that's going up. Everything's going up. You know, people are finding it harder and harder. Like, you know, people's wages and shit in most cases are going up to meet the, you know, the actual you know, cost of living, if you see what I mean. So You know, why should, you know, a lot of people spend their lives living bloody paycheck to paycheck and stressing. You know, it's no life. It's no life. It's no life.
That's just it. You know, like I've lived quite a few decades now. Do you know what I mean? And I've seen it. Do you know what I mean? Every decade's getting tighter. Every year is getting tighter. You know, like for instance, sort of like 20 years ago, for instance, I could go out for curry.
Yeah.
Or I might have been able to go on a holiday or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now I can't. It's all gone, you know, and it's like you ain't got much spending money or much pocket money to buy anything you like.
Yeah.
Or you can't buy.
You've got to buy the essentials and not cut down on the luxuries per se. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
You know, yeah. So I mean, like when I left school, I could buy everyone around.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, do you know what I mean? Beer was cheap then, and there wasn't so much tax on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, when I left school.
Yeah.
You know, and when I was 14, I could go in the shop and buy cigarettes for my, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever, you know. It's just all kind of changed, you know, everything. You know, anyway, to me.
No, I was going to say it's very much like that in Barbados too, because I remember buying cigarettes when I was like 12, 13 years old. But not only that, but I used to have a younger mate of ours who was about 2 or 3 years younger than us that used to, you know, hang out with us and chill with us, whatever. His mum, at 10 years old, 11 years old, used to send him to the shop to get her fags.
No, that's what I'm saying. You know,
if you know what I mean, like, and they would sell them to the, you know what I mean, you know, matey would, you know, happily sell them to the young lad and hope that he'd take them home to his mum and not smoke them himself, you know.
Like, times have changed now. Yeah, it's like the shopkeeper will get done if he's selling it to underage people, you know. Now you need proof if you're, you know, you got like a
if you look like a minor
identification on you, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but a long time ago they welcome young kids to buy tobacco and drink alcohol as well. You know, I mean, I think I started drinking when I was about 10 years old.
Okay.
You know, I went to a party because my aunties put on a lot of parties. They're all drinking there. Do you know what I mean? Like that was have to drink, and I was getting quite drunk. You know, at the age of 10. You know, and I was, you know, wonder why I started drinking when I was sort of like 16. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you already had a taste for it, kind of thing.
Well, I gave it up like 7 years ago. Do you know what I mean? I started becoming sensible once, you know, in my life. Do you know what I mean? I wish that they didn't sell it, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? In the first place, you know. I think like drink's alright if you ain't got any children, yeah. But I think like if you got children, you're neglecting them. Anyway, like if you're going out for a drink and you want a good time with your husband because you've had a hard week, right, and you get a babysitter for your children, you kind of neglecting your own children, neglecting them, I feel.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, but I think also there are some people out there, mate, that have to go and blow off that steam, and it helps them to be a better parent because they've blown off that steam too.
Yeah.
I get what you mean because I am that type of person. Like me and my wife, we have our kids pretty much all year round, every single day of the year, if you see what I mean. It's only maybe once or twice a year that our kids might go around to my mum's maybe for the day or something, for me and my wife to actually go out and do something together as a couple, if you see what I mean. But aside from that, that's it, if you see what I mean. Maybe a few times a year, if you see what I mean. The rest of the time, if you want to go out, the kids come with us, if you see what I mean. We all go out together as a family. But I do understand as well too that there are some people out there that have to go out there and blow off that steam. And once they've done that, and they've got, you know, like you said, if they've done it sensibly and gone out and had maybe 3 or 4 glasses of, you know, 3 or 4 pints or 3 or 4 glasses of wine and gone home, and they're not too pissed, you know, they've gone home and kids are asleep and, you know, pay babysitter and she goes home and they wake up in the morning and they're okay, if you see what I mean. Like, you know, they're, you know, back to doing what they're doing, you know, but they were able to release a bit, you know, if you see what I mean. We've all got, I think we've all got ways and means and ways of kind of venting, you know, releasing our stress and dealing with it, if you see what I mean, you know.
I mean, it's useful, isn't it, when you have got lots of money, alright, and you have, and you've got children. I mean, those children benefit so much when you've got a lot of money.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, you can get nanny in, you know, to help.
Yeah.
One, you know.
Which a lot of them do, don't they? Yeah.
And you can even get private education, you know, whatever, you know, and all kinds of things. And that child can get so much help if you've got money.
Oh, for sure.
Like say, money talks.
Money talks and bullshit walks.
You can get a piano teacher to come in, you know, and buy a piano. You know, you can do everything really that you can think, almost dream of.
Yeah, it's true.
In a funny way, you know.
Yeah.
Money makes you into Superman, and Superwoman, you know. That's what I think anyway, you know, it's like a magical wand. It helps you to meet people too.
Oh, for sure, yeah, true, yeah.
You know?
But it opens up a lot of doors and, like you said, brings connections and lots of other things, you know, for it, you know. But it's also that old saying too, another old saying of birds of a feather flock together. Because generally you see people who are multi-millionaires or billionaires, they're all in a similar circle.
Yeah.
Their friends or people who are close to them or around them, whatever, are usually wealthy people too.
That's right.
If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
It's that old, you know, kind
it's
of...
like tramps, tramps hang around with each other, don't
exactly,
they?
drug addicts hang out together, or, you know, or...
Yeah, we all got our own...
Footballers hang out together, you know.
Yeah,
like,
we've got our own clubs, haven't we, really, you know?
But yeah. So, you know, yeah. But, going back to the whole money thing, I just think that there's too big of a divide. Like the fact that people can, you know, I think it should be mandatory that if you get to a certain point of wealth, that you should you should at least give back at least maybe 5 to 10% of your wealth back to the, you know, helping people out. That's, you know, like I was gonna say, if I had that kind of money, mate, like me personally, if I have billions of dollars or pounds, whatever, I would bless a lot of people. Like, I mean, like, I really help. You could change people's lives with that money. That's like, you know, having a few £billion, mate. That's ridiculous amount of money. Like, I could, everyone that all my family members, all my loved ones, all my friends, all the people that I care about, their life would never be the same again. They would be blessed. Like,
I think,
you know,
life really without much money is like hell. Life is like how. But I think when you get a lot of money and you come into a lot of money and you've got plenty of money, life becomes heaven.
Like heaven in a way.
In a funny way, you know, it really does. It kind of like gives you a reason to wake up.
Yeah.
In a funny way, you know. But when you ain't got that money, you don't really feel like waking up because it's hard.
Struggling.
You know, it's a struggle, isn't it, without money?
Yeah.
You know, and I find it a little bit, that's what I find a bit odd about the world we're living in, because a lot of people are poor, aren't they? In that world, you know. And there's so many people on the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah.
And that's how I really kind of look at it, like a mountain, really. You know, and you've got the poor people down the circumference of the bottom of the mountain, which is like 1 million people. And as you climb up, you know, the people are getting richer and richer, but you know, until you got one on the top, the richest man in the world. You know what I mean? And he's going really up the top there, you know, really. You know. But there's a lot of people struggling right down the bottom of there, you know, and always down the you know, sort of halfway down where you're middle class. I mean, today I think there's no middle class in the country.
Well, it's almost kind of
like collapsed.
Disappearing, isn't it?
It's kind of collapsed.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of you're either super rich or you're super poor, in a funny way, you know.
Yeah, working class.
And you know, like I say, life is a struggle if you ain't got much money, and it's like how. And I don't know why the rich up there want the world living like how in a funny way, you know, because we're all living in a funny, you know, in the same world, in a kind of way, you know. And I think we should look after each other somehow. And I don't understand why, you know, I'm born in this world, and I grow up and I notice there's royal families amongst us, you know. They're like a circle of people within a circle of people in a funny way, you know. Another family, like there's two families.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what I think's not right in a funny way. I think it's a bit sort of racist or
discriminatory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's worse than, you know, like people say black and white and all that, racist and all that. I think rich and poor is the same, you know. We shouldn't have it.
Well,
it shouldn't exist.
It's all forms of division. Like you were saying, all those things that you just mentioned, amongst other things, hundreds of other things that they use to divide people. Because it's that old tactic, mate, of divide and conquer. That's always what it's always been about. These people that are in power now, that have been in power for the last few hundred years or slightly longer, that's what it's always been about. Power and control. You know, they see a lot of these people see the rest of the world as subservient to them. If you see what I mean, like, you know, we are just, like you said, like almost like peasants. If you see what I mean, like, you know, yeah, you know.
That's it though, you know, like a person without land is basically a peasant. Did you know that?
Yeah, that is the actual definition, isn't it?
If you look up peasant, it means a person without land.
Ownership of land, yeah.
So if you're somebody without land, you're basically a peasant, you know, which is quite a horrible feeling really for people if they haven't got a home of their own, you know, and they're all insecure. And I think that's it really, you know, life's all to do with feeling secure with who you're with, and where you are with your home, you know. And I think it's really important to have a home, you know. It makes you feel rich, you know. It makes you feel, you know. I wish that we lived in a world where, like, we paid taxes and those taxes paid for bricks. Anyway, you know, and paid for buildings. To make sure people, when they needed to leave home or whatever, they had a place to go into. You know?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
You know, and these should be guaranteed. You know what I mean? These places, and I think, like, if you're working, alright, you're going to get a better retirement. If you're not working, you won't get much of a retirement.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
You know, and that would encourage people to work, that kind of thing. You know, and it's all, you know, I think it's not very. The system we're living in, really, at the moment, I just don't think it's makes sense to me, you know.
Yeah.
You know, where like some rich people, they can buy 5 homes and they can have one for themselves and rent the other 4 out to the poor, and they can make a lot of money out of that, a lot of profits, you know. And I don't think it should be out, you know, personally, I think it should be all down to the council.
Okay.
If you sort of mean. You know? I just think it's all wrong.
What, to control and
yeah, you know, I don't
divide up fairly. And
the thing is, they're giving tickets to the rich people to make them even richer.
Yeah, exactly,
you know?
exactly.
And that's not right, you know.
Well, it's that thing too, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
Yeah.
You know, that tends to generally always be the case, and it's like even today, like we were just talking about earlier, it's like everything's going up astronomically, and like people. And some people out there, mate, they just had enough, you know what I mean? They just can't cope, you know? It just gets so on top of them and weighs them down, you see what I mean? And, you know, it can affect their health and loads of other, you know, lots of other things, you know? So, it's not...
Yeah, like, it's nothing worse being work all day and you're not going to get much pocket money out of it.
Yeah.
You know? It's a bit of a... I think it makes people sad, let's put it that way,
sure.
You know, it's a bit of a misery, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I just wish that we could live in, you know, we could make each other happy a little bit, you know, in this world, you know. We could all be rich, I think, you know. I think it's all gone completely wrong, you know. Because I think it's because of greed, you know, or somehow, you know, like the councils let it go to rich people so they can make profits or something, do you know what I mean? It's something... all corrupt in a funny way.
In a funny way, yeah.
You know, and it shouldn't be like this, you know, we should be guaranteed a home.
Yeah.
Whether you work or not, right, because some people are not able to work because of disabilities, whatever, you know, but we should all be guaranteed a home, and then if you're working every year out, you know, you're going to get a good pension, you know, when you leave you know, when you finally leave.
Yeah.
And I think the pension's too high as well, you know, I think that should come down to 60.
Less than that, 50.
55, maybe.
Because in all honesty, right, mate, a lot of people have a figure in their mind, of 100. Because we hear about people living to 100 and all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But if you actually look up, like, the statistics online, if you look at the average age that most people tend to die at, it's usually between 75 and 85.
That's right, yeah.
So, realistically, a lot of people are only making it to their late 70s. If they're lucky, their 80s. So if you're working till you're 67, what it is today for a man today is 67. You've got to work till 67. You can
13 years.
Until you could potentially, you know.
And your last 10 years not going to be too great, are they? Because you're going to probably sort of be...
You might be a bit decrepit from bloody working all the time.
You're not going to be wanting to go on the beach, are you, and sunbathe and
nah.
Look at women all day.
No.
you know, you change, you know...
That's retirement age should be about 50. You don't
really want to go out, and you want to keep warm as well, you know, and all this kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It's I think it's a little bit sad that you retire, alright, and there's just not much left in life, you know. You know,
and want people to work to almost
it's
to
funny
the dead.
Well, some people that you know they can't wait until they retire. Do you know what I mean? And when they retire, what have they got? Do you know what I mean? Left, apart from a few years left, or probably like aches in the joints, you know, whatever. More, you know, you've got to put up with a lot more pain, I think, and things, and suffering at that age. When you even when you're walking out the shop, it's more hard work, I think, you know, because your legs getting older.
Yeah.
You know. So I think it gets tougher a little bit when you get older. Well, it can do, you know. It depends. You know, like if you got someone else to look after you, that's okay. It gets easier, I suppose, you know, because you've got everyone else doing something for you, you know.
Yeah.
If you're getting some care.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, if some people they buy the house, right? They're married, their husband dies or whatever, and so they sell the house and then they go into a retirement home, don't they, and all that, because they're too old to look after, you know, after themselves, whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of cases out there.
Not able to look after their house anymore and do the, you know, not able to do the cooking anymore or the gardening or whatever else, all the other stuff.
They,
you know,
they
shopping.
sell their home. They ain't got any children, so they might as well sell it and just get looked after, you know, hand and feet by people, you know, in a care home. Yeah. You know. So there's all different cases out there. Lots of different cases.
Definitely.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, some people do the lottery, don't they, now and again, just to hope
to win some money,
and they can go to heaven.
Yeah. You know, that feeling of bliss.
Well, it is in a way, isn't it? Like, wow, you know. It's a freedom. It's a relief of freedom.
It unlocks. Because people don't. That it's not. Do you have financial freedom that people actually realise? Like, you know, being able to just do whatever you want whenever you want, because you can afford to do whatever you want whenever you want. If you decide tomorrow, let's go to China for a week, just being random, being obviously, being hypothetical, but you could do it. You know, wake up, say that, you know, just go online and book some tickets. Right. There's the money. You know, off we go.
Order a taxi.
That's what I mean. Straight to the airport. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing, because so yeah.
Yeah, it's like a magic wand, isn't it? It's, you know, it's very magical.
Yeah.
You know, like every person really's got a different sort of amount in their bank in a funny way, you know, as well. You know, and it's kind of invisible, isn't it, money? You know, I don't see how much you've got, you don't see how much I've got.
Of course, yeah.
You know, and it's quite a weapon in a funny way as well, isn't it, with money? You know, can be quite dangerous in the wrong hands, you know, especially if you've got quite a lot of money, you know. You can put your money towards a nuclear bomb or something, you know, or something.
Yeah, you got people out there that do that type of shit, mate. You got people out there that do crazy shit with their money, you know. Yeah.
Well, I think like everyone paying taxes year after year, right? Like I've been paying taxes, right, year after year, you know. Well, you know, I've been working since I was 16. You know, and I've had a number of different jobs. Then my mum was paying taxes, right, when she was working, whatever. She's retired now. Then my nan, my granddad was paying taxes. Do you know what I mean?